Julie here from my home in London. Today, let's practice something quick and energizing. It's a class centered around core stability with all the movements of the spine, which you could do in the morning to give you a boost of energy, or when you need a little quick pick-me-up. Otherwise, you could use it as the warm-up to a longer core-based class. And I've got one actually, a core-based class, which I'm gonna link below. Okay, so let's get you started by rolling over into hands and knees position. Take a moment to set up with your hands and with your knees. And a few breaths here. Noticing the floor, the mat that you're touching with your hands, with your knees, and the top of each foot. And since we'll be doing most of the sequence in our hands and knees position, it's a good idea to warm up the wrists. So from here, lean forward towards your fingernails and feel how the wrists are doing. Then lean back a little bit towards the back of the mat. Repeat a couple of times, moving back and forth over your hands. We're going through a little bit of an extension movement for the wrists and some pressure. Now, next time you are shifting the shoulders forward, start to make a circle around your hands, any direction that you like, a few times. And then also go the other way a few times. Come back to center, turn the fingers to the sides of the mat, like seal flipper hands. And then go side to side with your shoulders, and just targeting a different part of the wrist. And now, still doing this shifting of the shoulders from one side to the other, you can take little steps backwards towards your legs until you are actually seated on the lower legs. And then from here, you're going to lift your hands in front of you, have your thumbs inside the palms, wrap the other fingers over the thumbs, and like a teapot when you're pouring tea, you're going to tip the thumbs forward until you feel a stretch here on the outer wrist. Release and do it one more time, like pouring tea from a teapot. Nice one. Now make fists, have them on the floor near your knees, roll over the right hand, bend your elbow, and stretch the front of your wrist joint. Then switch. Stretch the front of the other wrist. Okay, release, and you can shake your hands for a moment. Then with your cupcake hand position, let's walk again to hands and knees. When you arrive, set up with the knees properly. Flatten one hand, then flatten the other hand. Now, I'd like you to monitor sensations here in the center of the body, somewhere around your navel. And Yoga Way will be using the breath to feel something. So take a breath in, prepare. When you breathe out, lift your left hand a little bit off the floor and lift your right foot and knee a little bit off the floor. And expel all the air out of the lungs. Then lower all the way down. Take another breath in, and when you breathe out, lift your right hand and your left knee and foot off the floor. Can you feel what's going on right there in the center of the torso? Do it one more time. So with the next breath out, lift left hand, right knee and foot, opposite arm and leg. Then breathe in, and lift right hand, left knee and foot. As you breathe out, letting all the air come out of the lungs, feeling the effects right there in the torso. Come back to center, and now from here you're going to step forward with the left fingertips. Then stretch your right leg out, and we'll utilize the breath to stabilize our tabletop position. So, inhaling, prepare. Exhaling, lift your arm and your leg to your tabletop and hold. In and out. At the end of the breath out, when you think it's finished, exhale a little bit more. Can you feel how it supports your position? And then come back to the floor and let's switch and feel it on the other side. Sprinkle your right fingertips in front of you. Stretch your left leg out, so opposite arm and leg. And when you breathe out, lift your limbs, then hold in. And a long breath out. At the end of it, breathe out even a little bit more. Notice what happens for you in your center, in your core. Okay, and then come out and let's go back to the first set of arm and leg. Left arm, right leg. Let's do a progression. So when you breathe out, you can lift your limbs. Inhaling, hold. Exhaling, bend those limbs. Go under your body and touch elbow to knee. One more time. Breathing in, long limbs. All the air out. Exhaling, touch. And the last time, tabletop. And then come out. Let's switch. Right arm, left leg. As you exhale, enter the position. Hold, inhaling, and then a long breath out, elbow, knee touching. In, back into tabletop, one more time. Remember, all the air out, back into tabletop, and then to the floor to finish. One more little progression. It's getting slightly more energizing and strengthening. So left arm and right leg. When you breathe out, as before, you're using the exhale breath to lift your limbs and hold. Now, when you breathe in, you're preparing for something like a letter X with your limbs. So breathe out and move your left arm a little bit more to the left and your right leg a little bit more to the right. So much strength involved in this moment, in this position. Inhaling, your left hand on the floor, sweep your right leg across the mat, go outside of the mat. Exhaling, look over the left shoulder. Here is a little bit of a side bend. Let's repeat. Float your right leg up, more to the right. Lift the left arm off to the side, to the left. Exhaling, go across. Look over the left shoulder. Doesn't it feel good? So one more time. X shape. Exhaling back into your side bend. Stay here for a moment. As you're looking at the foot, you're feeling the left side of your trunk has shortened up, right? Now, bend your back leg, two knees on the floor, untuck your right toes, and just for fun, but also to target your hips a little bit, walk the hands back. Then gaze at something. Gazing point, very important. And let's see if we can stand up on the knees with our cow's legs. Yeah, you know that position, the classic yoga pose. We just want to make it a bit more fun. All right, and then with control, walk your hands out and forward. Pick up your right leg, lift it. Then from your hip, turn the leg out so your toes are pointing right. Then check your shoulders, make them very still. Strong arms, Keep your leg lifted, bend it. And now can you touch your right arm as you breathe out? And inhaling, reach back through the heel. Exhaling, touch the arm. We're targeting the side abdominals. In, one more time. Out, then hold and stretch your right leg out, putting the foot on the floor, line it up with the knee. And then you can unfurl the right arm for a nice twist. Breathing in, go under your chest, reaching slightly towards that side, and then breathing out, back in your twist. One more time, in and out, hold your twist. You can send the top arm towards the wall behind you. And now if you make a big circle with the top arm, so you just traveling towards your head, towards your right leg, then towards the back wall. Feels good for the shoulder. One more time. Okay, let that go. And pull the hips back, taking the pressure off your wrists, and fold forward into a child's pose. Just a little breather. Taking a moment here. And go back to hands and knees for the same progression on the other side, building strength and enhancing that core stability. So now, right arm, left leg. Exhaling, tabletop. Hold, breathing in, breathing out. Right arm more to the right, left leg more to the left. Good. Inhaling, right hand on the floor, back leg across the mat to the right on the floor with the toes. Squeeze the right side of your torso. Exhaling, back into your X shape. Push the floor away with the left hand. Inhaling, into the side bend, looking over the shoulder. One last time. Exhaling. Notice what's happening in your torso, deep down in the belly. And then back into the side bend for that fun moment now. A bit of a balance and a bit of a hip stretch. So bend the back leg, untuck the toes, walk the hands back. Are you ready? So let's find the gazing point. And then we're slowly standing on the knees, opening the arms. The more the hips are moving forward, and the more the stretch on the outer left hip. Okay, with control, try to avoid falling over. Slowly walk the hands out and forward. Pick up that left leg. Then turn the leg out. And see, my shoulder wants to move, so I'm just going to fix it here. Strong arms. Exhaling, left knee to the left upper arm. One more. In. All the air out. It helps. Last time. Touch the upper arm, then stretch your leg out, put the foot on the floor, and enter your twist. This is like a holiday, isn't it? Ooh. Inhaling, go under, like a kind of a thread the needle pose. Exhaling, twist. One more time, it's a small thoracic rotation. And now stay here. We can do a couple of circular movements with your arm moving towards your head, then towards your leg, towards the wall behind you, and just one more. Okay, and then let it go. When you are in hands and knees position properly, you can lift the tailbone, lift the chest, look forwards. And then stay in this kind of a hammock position with the back bend and pull the hips back. Sit down on the shins. You can lower down the forearms, but now think of your cat movement when you round out. So take off with your hips, round your back, go a little past your wrists, then finally lift the tailbone, extend your spine, lift your head. Now, look forwards, avoid looking down, pull everything back, and then at the last moment, your head towards the mat. Let's do some waves. Inhaling, round out. Then lift the tailbone and the head. Keep looking forwards, sticking your bum out a little bit. Exhaling back, nice and fluid. Breathing in. Wave your spine forward. Breathing out. Pull the hips back. One more time. Wave your spine forward. And this time, change your mind. Let's do a downward dog. Okay, couple of breaths in your downward dog. Feel free to keep it mobile. And then for the last few breaths here of our sequence, put a little bend in the knees. With your hands, you're pressing down to pull the hips back and away from your hands. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. At the end of the breath out, monitor those sensations deep down into your belly. Do that again. Exhaling all the air out. Can you feel there's a sort of a vacuum in action, a vacuum in the lowest part of your abdomen? Even if we are upside down, our core stability is supporting us, and we're just using the breath to cue it, to feel it. Yoga way. Okay, baby steps towards your hands. And you can sit down, and then from here you can maybe press play and do my other core-based class. Or if you're done for the day and you're feeling slightly more energized, a little bit more active, you can roll your hands around, just releasing your wrists one way, then the other way. Maybe notice the quality of your energy. You feeling a little warmer? That's good, it worked. Hands in prayer. Let's finish. Hope you have a great day. See you next time.